What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. As always, we got quite a couple stories to go through, and if there's only a few that interest you, feel free to use the timestamps either in the description or just, the chapters that are built into the time bar there, just to skip ahead to the ones that actually interest you. First things first, let's go ahead and go over all the major game releases from the last week. So, on June 18th, we had Hashtag Blood and Still Wakes the Deep. Then on June 20th, we had Ever After Falls, as well as Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, the non-VR version. And then on June 21st, we have Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, which is an expansion, but it's a pretty big expansion, so it might as well be an entire game in its own. It's massive. And then we also had Times and Galaxy. So, have you guys gotten to pick up or play any of these games, or in Elden Ring's case, expansion? Next up, Freshly Frosted is free on Epic Games, and then there's also the Rumble Club free Game of the Week bonus, which will just kind of give you some in-game rewards like currencies and such for that game. So, yeah, you might as well go redeem it because there's no better price than free. Next up, there are some new games coming to Xbox Game Pass, those being Still Wakes the Deep, which is a day one release for the service and is available now. My Time at Sandrock, Kaplurth, both of those being available now, by the way. Then on June 25th, we have EA Sports FC 24. On June 26th, we have SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Dig 2. And then on June 27th, we have Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. Next up, some new games were added to Nintendo Switch Online, those being The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past 4 Swords for the GBA, Metroid Zero Mission for the GBA, Turok Dinosaur Hunter for the N64, and Perfect Dark N64. And it is also worth noting that now they have two different apps for the N64 app. So basically, you have the normal one that has anything from E to T rated games, and then you have the mature rated app for games like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Turok. So if you go into your N64 app and you don't see these, that's why. You gotta go to the mature app. Next up, the LOLLIPOP Chainsaw RePOP release date was announced. So a new trailer came out and the description reads, LOLLIPOP Chainsaw RePOP is a remake of the original LOLLIPOP Chainsaw 2012. RePOP is a definitive version of the game, which leaves the story unchanged with the focus on quality of life improvements and additional gameplay content. In the first trailer, watch for the legendary zombie hunter Juliet, who makes a comeback in 4K. So this will be releasing September 25th of this year, 2024, and will be coming out on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. Now, originally there was labels for the PS4 and Xbox One, but it seems to be missing from their site and the trailer and, everything that they've announced, so I'm not sure if those versions were canceled or if they're coming out at a later time or if they just forgot to mention them somehow, but that is worth noting. Next up, surprisingly, Lords of the Fallen 2 was already announced, so this coming from WCCF Tech, quote, Polish publisher and developer CI Games has announced Lords of the Fallen 2 for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. The sequel to 2023's Lords of the Fallen was confirmed as part of a release via Polish financial media outlet Bankier. According to the release, the sequel, for now dubbed Lords of the Fallen 2, will be fully exclusive on PC via the Epic Games Store throughout the game's lifecycle. As such, Lords of the Fallen won't be a timed EGS exclusive on PC. Lords of the Fallen is currently planned for a release on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S in 2026. More information about the sequel will be shared in the near future. So, again, this is pretty surprising because, as they mentioned in the article, Lords of the Fallen 2 literally just came out in 2023 and they're already working on the sequel, already announcing everything like that. And furthermore, an Epic Games Store exclusive. Now, we've had a lot of timed exclusives, like I think to Hitman 3, for example, or when Kingdom Hearts finally came to PC. It was a timed exclusive to where it was on Epic Games Store for a bit, but it did finally make its debut on Steam after a couple of months or years. But in this case, it says throughout its life cycle, which means it will only be on the Epic Games Store. That is really interesting, and I'm wondering what kind of impact that is going to have on Lords of the Fallen 2, because yeah, it's not like it's not going to have any impact, right? Like, there's plenty of times where I've seen people online like, oh, it's only on Epic Games Store? Well, I'm just not going to buy it then, because they prefer to just keep all their library in one place over on Steam, which totally makes sense. Like, if you're on PC, why have all these different launchers if there's a more convenient way to just have it all in one place? Like, I completely understand that, especially as a console player. If I had to do with all those launchers, that would suck. But for me, since I do play on PC, but I 99% of the time play on console, it's real convenient. You just boot it up and all the games are there, and I can empathize with that when it comes to PC players and, Steam. All I can say is that I'm sure the developers and the publisher probably got a fat check to keep it exclusive on Epic Games Store indefinitely, so it will definitely impact the game's sales on PC, but hopefully it won't end up hurting the developer in the long run. Next up, Baiten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster was released on Steam. So this was available on other platforms before, but it just finally made the jump to Steam within the last week. So they put up a trailer and the description reads, quote, 2 heroes, 2 journeys, 2 destinies, Wings of the Heart take flight, now on Steam. Experience 2 timeless RPGs remastered in HD. Baiten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster is available now on Steam, and it's available for $50 USD, but it is currently on sale for $45. So you can save $5 there if you go ahead and, you know, purchase it in a timely manner. I believe it said on the page you have like a couple of weeks to do it yet, so again, it's not something where you gotta like rush to do it. You know, if payday's still a bit away, you know, you still got time to save up and then go and get it if you want to get it at a bit of a cheaper price, which I do recommend doing. Baiten Kaitos, absolutely amazing games, and the HD remasters, again, it's the same games but remastered in HD, and yeah, they're just as amazing as they were before. They're great games, and I cannot recommend them enough. They are very innovative and different RPGs, definitely going to be a lot different from anything else you've probably played before, but in a good way. It's very good. And again, this is for 1 and 2, so it's 2 games in one package, so you're essentially only paying about $25 per game, which, yeah, you know, that's a pretty good deal there, because these are some not only lengthy, but very quality games. Next up, the Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition was announced. This coming from Beyond Good and Evil on X, quote, "Looks like Uncle Paige has a message to share with you all. See you at the Limited Run Games Showcase on June 20th at 2 p.m. EST for more news about Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. Big thanks to Hubert Chevallard for this little teaser." The 20th anniversary would have actually been on November 11th of 2023, and let me just say that I feel so old saying that out loud, considering the fact that I'm much older than even this game is at this point, but anyway, yeah, you know, we're still waiting on Beyond Good and Evil 2. I mean, y'all know the saying, right? Bad game forever bad, delayed game, or a game stuck in development hell, I guess we could say at this point, is eventually good. But, yeah, you know, we're still waiting on Beyond Good and Evil 2, but it's cool to know that they're at least still doing this 20th Anniversary Edition for Beyond Good and Evil, because it means that it has not left their minds. They're at least still willing to do something with this franchise. You know, they say that the second one is still in development, but at this point, it almost feels like they're teasing us and just saying, hey, it's still in development, even though it's not, you know what I mean? Like, when Nintendo was saying that with Metroid Prime 4, you know, it's one of those things where, like, with Nintendo, okay, yeah, you know they're actually working on it, even if it took them 7 years to actually mention it. But Beyond Good and Evil, dude, it has been so long at this point. Please, can we just get something about that second game? But regardless, I'll definitely be picking up the 20th Anniversary Edition just so I can at least not only support the franchise, but, I mean, I love Beyond Good and Evil, so, yeah, I'll definitely be picking this up regardless, but, man, I can't wait till we can hear about that second game again. Next up, Discord on PS5 got a much needed update. This coming from PlayStation Blog, quote, "Today we're pleased to share that we're starting to roll out the ability for PS5 players to join Discord voice chat directly from the PS5 console without relying on the Discord PC or mobile apps to initiate the connection." After that, they go on to list off how to do it and everything like that, and also mentioning that this is going to be a gradual rollout to where they'll roll it out to like Japan and Asia, and then Europe, and then Australia, and then yada yada yada. But regardless, the fact that we're finally getting this update is amazing. I mean, before, as they had mentioned, you had to like use a mobile app or a PC to initiate the voice connection or to join the call, and then you could talk on the PS5, but it's like, why even go through all that? You know, on Xbox, you know, they're able to just join a chat, and that's that, or start a voice chat on Discord, and that's that. But for PS5, it's just been this whole thing, but thankfully, that feature is there now. Me, personally, I don't use Discord because I don't have friends, I don't talk to people, but it's just like, I feel for the people that have been having to struggle with this, okay? Because back in the day when I was very social with people and I'd be joining parties all the time, yeah, I can only imagine how annoying that would have been. So it's more of a thing where I don't personally understand the struggle, but I can empathize or at least sympathize with those that have been struggling, because I've been hearing about it, and yeah, thankfully this change will be coming very soon if it hasn't come to you already. Next up, Guerilla Games addressed Aloy coming to Super Smash Bros. Now, don't get it twisted, Aloy is not coming to Super Smash Bros, though it would have been awesome if she was, but they rather just talked about, like, what if? So this is coming from an interview that Kotaku did with Tim Simmons, who is the franchise developer at Guerilla. In particular, I wanted to highlight this bit at the end where the interviewer asked, quote, "Does this new partnership mean Aloy might eventually come to the next Super Smash Bros?" To which Tim Simmons replied, "That'd be nice. If you speak to Nintendo, they want to invite us, let me know." So, there it is. So obviously, there's been a whole lot of just talk online about LEGO Horizon Adventures and the fact that not only is it coming to PS5, which you would expect, and as well as PC, but it's also coming to Nintendo Switch, which means a first-party IP with Horizon and Aloy and everything like that. Like, it's basically just like a complete retelling of, you know, just the Horizon games, but in LEGO, is going to be on another platform, another console. Granted, it's not going to Xbox, because, I mean, if it was going to Xbox, I mean, I feel like, the talk would be going even crazier, but going to Nintendo Switch, I understood this from the start. You know, it is a LEGO game, and while, yes, it is very surprising because it is still a first-party Sony IP, in that case, you know, it still makes sense because it is LEGO. It's not like they're shipping Forbidden West on the Switch, for example, right? But in this case, still, I mean, the fact that Aloy and Horizon and all that is on a Nintendo platform now, I mean, we've seen it in the past, right? Like, and you know, back in the early days of Smash, I'd have been like, nah, there's no way. I mean, it's not even like Nintendo related, but after Smash Ultimate, man, when you got stuff like Cloud in there, for example, it's like, dude, anything can come to Smash at this point. As long as it's on a Nintendo platform, I mean, heck, even if it's not on a Nintendo platform, you even knows, man, it seems like their arms are just wide open, accepting almost anybody in Smash nowadays. But now that Aloy has been on a Nintendo platform, there is a very slim, I'm talking the world's slimmest possibility that Aloy could come to Smash. Like, I'm not even insinuating that it could happen. I'm just saying if the stars align, if Sony wants to make a quick check, if Nintendo, I mean, I'm sure there wouldn't be much to consider on Nintendo's end. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll just slap the character here into Smash, but I mean, if the stars could align in that way, that would be pretty awesome. Though, canonically speaking, it's not actually Aloy coming to the Switch, it's Lego Aloy, so I mean, maybe Lego Aloy goes into Super Smash, but I'm just saying, I don't know. We saw Steve from Minecraft come to Smash. Anything's possible. Next up, we got a recap of the Yacht Club Games presentation that took place. So we'll just kind of run through everything that was shown or announced in some way. So first things first, Shovel Knight Dig Wicked Wishes is a free DLC coming in summer 2024. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon Paradox Pack is a free DLC coming summer 2024. They showed off some gameplay of Mina the Hollower. Unfortunately, there was no release date or window, but this game does look very interesting. It looks like something straight out of the SNES era. Like, I'm very excited for this one. Then they went on to show off some new merch and announce some live events and such. But then they showed off Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX. And right now it's available to wishlist on Steam. And this game looks incredible. It's essentially just, you know, like an enhanced version of, you know, the original Shovel Knight and all. But it's just the fact that they're adding so much content to it between, like, characters and just all this other stuff that is coming to the game. It's essentially just Shovel Knight, and, you know, the game is called DX, you know, insinuating deluxe, but it's even more than that. This is like deluxe plus plus. Like, there is so much content going into this game. If you liked the original Shovel Knight, or if you've been looking to get into it, this would honestly probably be a pretty good starting point, not only because it's the original adventure, you know, just like enhanced with a bunch of new content, but again, there's gonna be all that new content there. And yeah, unfortunately, we don't know too many details in terms of like release dates and stuff like that, but again, it is available to wishlist on Steam right now, so I mean, it's already on my wish list, so yeah, I would highly recommend getting that on your guys' wish list as well. After that, they just kind of wrapped up the show by talking about the future of their games and the company just basically saying that there's more on the way and stuff like that. But regardless, you know, that was one of those moments where I stood up, I was clapping, whole round of applause, cheering, like, I am so excited for that, and everything they announced looks great as well, you know, especially with like all the free DLCs and stuff. I mean, in an age where so many games are seemingly trying to nickel and dime you for battle passes and other expansions and such, free DLC, I mean, it feels unreal, but I'm very thankful. Thank you, Yacht Club Games. And finally, we have a recap of the Nintendo Direct that took place. We are going to go over everything that even made an appearance here. So we're just going to go from the top. If any of the game names like interest you or whatever, you can just go ahead and do some more research beyond that. But otherwise, we have a lot of games to go through. So we're just going to go ahead and list off the release date if it got one, and that'll be that. Mario & Luigi Brothership coming November 7th, 2024. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition coming July 18th. We already knew about this, but they were just kind of reminding us. Fairy Tail 2 coming in the winter. Fantasia Neo Dimension coming holiday 2024. This was a game that was exclusive to Apple Arcade before, so it's pretty cool to see it, you know, coming out on Switch now. Switch Sports Basketball is a free update coming in the summer of 2024. Mio Memories in Orbit 2025. Disney Illusion Island update, which was shadow dropped that day, so if you have Disney Illusion Island, you can go download that update and play it now, and again, it's all free. Hello Kitty Island Adventure coming 2025. Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports 2025. And Among Us update went live the same day as the Direct, so you can go download that now. Farmagia, I think it's actually supposed to pronounce that, coming November 1st, 2024. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and HD Remaster of the classic Wii Donkey Kong Country title, coming January 16th, 2025. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake coming November 14th, 2024, with the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake to follow in 2025. Funko Fusion, which was announced before, but it's the Funko Pop game. I'm actually really excited for this. I will be picking that up, coming September 13th, 2024. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, again, just something we already knew about, but they were just kind of showing it off again. That is coming out June 27th, 2024, so in just a couple of days, actually, from the time that this video goes live. The new Denpa Men coming July 22nd, 2024. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, which shadow dropped that same day. Darkest Dungeon 2 coming July 15th, 2024. And then they went on to announce some new games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, which they then went on to shadow drop, which we talked about earlier in the show, that being The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past 4 Swords and Metroid Zero Mission on GBA, as well as Turok Dinosaur Hunter and Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64. After that, Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero 2025. And then they announced the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, which this includes multiple games, those being X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and The Punisher. That is releasing sometime in 2024. Some classic games right there, man, let me tell you. Tons of nostalgia. Can't wait to dive into that one. Super Mario Party Jamboree coming October 17th, 2024. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which is Zelda's first game. That's right, we'll be playing as Zelda. That will be releasing September 26th, 2024. They also announced a new special edition Switch to coincide with that game's release. Just Dance 2025, which is coming out in October. Lego Horizon Adventures, obviously that was announced before, but it just kind of made an appearance here. That's coming out this holiday, 2024. Shrey will be coming to the Switch, holiday 2024. Tales of the Shire, holiday 2024. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection coming September 6, 2024. The 100 Line coming early 2025. Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven, October 24th, 2024. And after 7 years, we finally saw gameplay of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is coming at some point in 2025. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that out loud. I remember 2 decades ago playing the original Metroid Prime, and then Prime 2, and then Prime 3 on the Wii, and I mean, even Metroid Prime Remaster, that feels like that came out ages ago at this point, even though, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but still, it's even been a while since then, and it's crazy, man. We have been waiting since 2017 for this game, ever since it was announced, and then since 2019, when they announced that they were kind of rebooting development of this game, and now 5 years later, after the rebooting of the game, and a full 7 years since it was initially announced, it will be coming out. And it just feels so unreal to say that. So, yeah, I'm super excited. This was a great direct. Tons of great games in here. A lot of variety. And, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in the next year before Nintendo even talks about their next system. So, yeah, I mean, the Switch is on its 8th year, technically, but obviously it's still kicking and it has a ton of life in it left. But anyways, that is all the stories that I got for you guys this week, so I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on everything that we talked about? I'm not gonna lie, my brain's a little mushy after going through all those games with the directs, so just, I don't know, what games are you excited for? What do you think about what we talked about? Whatever it is, whatever thinking, I'd love to hear from you guys. But anyway, this is Weekly GCap. New episodes go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so if you want to catch them as soon as they go live, well then, now you know when to be here. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.